Good morning. We begin today, September 8th, with developing news from the White House regarding the war in Ukraine. President Donald Trump signaled on Sunday that the United States is prepared to impose a second phase of sanctions against Russia. When asked by a reporter if he was ready to move forward with the new measures, the president replied with a simple, "Yeah, I am," though he did not provide further details on what these sanctions might entail or when they would be implemented. This statement comes as diplomatic negotiations to end the conflict, which has been ongoing since February 2022, have reportedly stalled. The timing is also significant, following what Ukrainian officials are calling Russia's largest single aerial assault of the war. Overnight on September 7th, Russia launched more than 800 drones and missiles across Ukraine. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the attacks resulted in the deaths of 4 people and left dozens more injured. Among the structures hit was a government building, underscoring the intensity of the barrage. In response to the stalled talks and escalating conflict, President Trump also announced that European leaders will be visiting the White House in the coming days for individual meetings. The president stated the leaders would be arriving on Monday and Tuesday to discuss the administration's ongoing efforts to broker an end to the war. He did not specify which leaders would be attending. Speaking to reporters at Joint Base Andrews, President Trump expressed his frustration with the current situation, stating he was not happy about the state of negotiations, Russia's actions, or, in his words, anything having to do with that war. These upcoming one-on-one discussions suggest a potential shift in diplomatic strategy, moving away from broader multilateral talks to more direct engagement with key European allies as the administration weighs its next steps, including the newly announced readiness for further sanctions. The focus on international diplomacy extends beyond Eastern Europe. President Trump has also issued a stern message regarding the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. In a post on the Truth Social platform Sunday, the president delivered what he termed a last warning to Hamas, urging the group to accept a deal that would secure the release of all remaining hostages held in the Gaza Strip. He wrote that Israel has, quote, "accepted my terms. It is time for Hamas to accept as well." He added, "I have warned Hamas about the consequences of not accepting. This is my last warning. There will not be another one." The specific terms of the deal being negotiated by the Trump administration have not been publicly disclosed, leaving the details of the proposal unclear. However, in separate comments to reporters after returning from a trip to New York, President Trump conveyed a sense of optimism, expressing confidence that his administration could reach a deal to end the conflict very soon. He stated, "It's a problem we want to solve, for the Middle East, for Israel, for everybody." This direct and public ultimatum to Hamas leadership marks a significant escalation in the administration's rhetoric as it attempts to break the long-standing deadlock over the hostage situation and find a resolution to the wider conflict that has destabilized the region. From complex negotiations abroad, we turn to a domestic issue with significant international implications. President Trump has responded to a major U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, raid at a Hyundai battery plant, currently under construction in Georgia. The operation resulted in the arrest of 475 people, most of whom are South Korean nationals, for working in the country illegally. In a statement, Hyundai clarified that while it owns the site, none of the arrested individuals were directly employed by the company, but rather by subcontractors. While President Trump affirmed his support for the enforcement action, stating that ICE was right to arrest those in the country without legal authorization, he also introduced a more nuanced perspective on the labor issue. He suggested that the U.S. should consider a system to allow foreign experts to temporarily stay in the country to train American workers, particularly in advanced industries. The president noted that fields like battery manufacturing, shipbuilding, and computer production are areas where the U.S. is rebuilding its domestic workforce and could benefit from specialized knowledge. He explained, "If you don't have people in this country right now that know about batteries, maybe we should help them along. We're going to have to train people." He later expanded on this in a Truth Social post, welcoming foreign investment but urging companies to respect U.S. immigration laws. He pledged to make it quickly and legally possible for them to bring in skilled technical talent, with the expectation that they, in turn, hire and train American workers. Meanwhile, the South Korean government has announced it reached a deal with the U.S. to secure the release of the detained workers. President Lee Jae-myung's office stated that a charter plane will be sent to bring the workers back to South Korea, while also expressing concern and regret over the raid itself. The incident highlights the complex intersection of immigration policy, foreign relations, and the administration's push to onshore critical manufacturing capabilities. Finally, with the nation's 250th anniversary approaching, President Trump is launching a new faith-based initiative called America Prays. The program is designed to encourage Americans to dedicate time each week to pray for the nation, as part of the broader preparations for the semi-quincentennial celebration, known as America. The president is set to headline the official launch of the initiative at the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. The program calls on citizens to join with at least 10 other people each week for prayer, aiming to underscore faith as a central element of the nation's founding and its future. This effort extends a message the president delivered in July when he kicked off the year-long America 50 celebration at the Iowa State Fairgrounds. At the time, he said, "As we prepare to celebrate 2.5 centuries of freedom, I am inviting America's great religious communities to pray for our nation and for our people." The America Prays initiative has garnered significant support from prominent faith leaders. Franklin Graham, president of Samaritan's Purse, stated, "Our greatest battles are fought on our knees, and through America Prays, we can join together to ask God to guide and protect this land." Pastor Clint Presley of the Southern Baptist Convention added that such prayer serves as a public testimony that we depend on God for wisdom and strength. A broad coalition of organizations has partnered on the initiative, including Pray.com, Hallow, the National Religious Broadcasters, and the Faith and Freedom Coalition, alongside numerous churches nationwide. Organizers say the effort is intended to reflect a spirit of unity in faith as the country looks toward its next chapter.